Assalamu alaikum, and here's your host Imi Aska on another show of the Stani Army Verdict. Today we're going to be reviewing the third test, day 2, and an interesting day again. I followed most of it. I followed it until tea, and then I sort of missed the next hour and a bit, that declaration part, and actually got to watch it again when the first ball I watched was Sean was given out, and he reviewed it and he was not out. So that's where I came back just to let everyone know that there was parts of the game that I actually missed. My guest today again is Dr. Akbar Chowdhury, and we will sort of try to sum up the day's proceedings as much as we possibly can. Doctor, interesting day?
Interesting's one way to describe it. Disastrous, I think, could be another way to describe it. So I had the pleasure of watching pretty much every ball today, and there was a degree of inevitability about the whole thing. I think yesterday, when England get to 330 for 4, you're thinking, look, unless we do something ridiculous in the first session, we're facing an uphill struggle. I didn't think it would get as bad as it did. I mean, they ended up at 583, didn't they? But yeah, no, pretty bad day. That's about as bad as we've as bad a day as we've had for a while. Not necessarily a bad performance, because I think they kept going, but just if you look at the overall state of the game, 24 for 3 against 580 odd is yeah, that's not good.
Got a couple of comments. Habib, assalamu alaikum, and Tabriz, assalamu alaikum, Habib, and everyone else. Alia, can't wait for this evening. Okay. This is one of the tougher ones. Omar can't have been that flat. Definitely poor bowling and captaincy. We're going to come down to this. Just to sum it up, because I wasn't doing the show yesterday. Started playing England, started at 332 for 4. There was a point yesterday where, I actually tweeted it out and thought we could bowl them out for 250.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It was I don't know if I was being over optimistic, but there was a realistic possibility, and then just like the wheels just completely fell off. And just to go into today, I mean, I didn't see one player out of the 11 on that pitch or a member of coaching staff that you could say had any enthusiasm out there. It was just like they were going through the motions, weren't they?
It wasn't. I mean, look, we're not the best of teams when it comes to body language, when things are not going against us. We've seen over the years, when Pakistan get a couple of early wickets, the fielders are up for it. It's chaos kind of out in the ground, and then when we get flat, we get really flat. And we were super flat today in terms of our performance, almost as flat as the pitch when the England batted on anyway. So no, it didn't look good. I mean, I think it goes. I mean, the fact that England got nearly 600 goes beyond just today and goes beyond just as being a captain and missed by being the coach. There are kind of chronic problems with our system in terms of developing bowlers, which I kind of wanted to mention a few things. Whether that's now or in a moment, just about how we've got ourselves into this position where we've got this 4-man bowling attack playing against a good team like England.
Yeah, I'll come back to you in that in a couple of minutes. I mean, just to get my own feelings out. I mean, I was at work today, and I was trying to follow as much as I could. So in between customers, etc., normal work. I was trying to follow as much as the game as I could possibly can, and I saw no inspiration. As a fan, I can take a lot of things. I can take defeat. I can take getting absolutely smashed. What I can't take is zero fight, and that's what I seem to see out there. I saw zero emotion. I thought the heads had completely dropped. Sometimes it comes from the captain, sometimes it comes from coaching staff, other senior players. Someone just say, you know what, or even one of the bowlers just say, you know what, I'm going to try to hit this game by the scruff of the neck. I'm going to try to raise it. One of the things I picked up as a genuine fan and as a match goer is it was one of them days where, I don't know, when the team is down, sometimes they look at the crowd and maybe, them Pakistan's in there by chance or someone saying, come on, Naseem, come on, Shaheen, and then, that gets them going. Maybe that did take an effect. Maybe we underrated us, like basically playing in the UAE, because it's been over 18 months now. We haven't played in the UAE, so our players are now used to playing, with a crowd, whereas England had them 3 tests against the West Indies and probably got used to the more quiet. I don't know. I felt really demoralized. This show is probably one of the hardest ones I'm doing because, as I said, anything apart from what I can't accept is non-trying, and that's where it. I had that feeling. I don't know if you had that feeling.
Yeah, it's difficult. We've got quite a. If you look at them, we've got quite a timid team. Generally, they don't look like they're going to kind of pick any. If you think back to the team that we had in the 90s or the 2000s, aggression isn't everything. Obviously, it comes down to skill, but we've not got players that are going to start a fight out there or start an argument, just get themselves going. I mean, someone like Shane Warne, he always says, when the pitch is flat, when the ball is not doing anything, I just pick a fight with someone. Just pick an argument, get the batsman to do something stupid, rile them up. It looks like we've got quite a nice team, which is fine when you're doing all right. But and probably some of that comes from the top. I mean, as it is just quite a timid bloke generally. So yeah, I don't know if that kind of plays a part in terms of, I guess, again, the bigger picture. When the guys got here on June 28th, I was reading, so that's a couple of months inside this bubble. Now, fair play, England have been in a bubble as well, so it's been the same for both teams. But again, those guys that have been here before, they're not used to being in this kind of situation where you cannot leave the hotel. You're pretty much stuck there. After play, you're back into your hotel room. You're in this biosecure bubble. I don't know. Maybe that's touring teams struggle towards the end of a long tour anyway, even when they can go out and about. And I don't know if that's maybe had a bit of an impact as well, where they're kind of cooped up. It's cold. It's windy. England are 300 for 4. The ball's not doing anything, and it just becomes all too. You're 1-0 down, so you can't even win the series. It just feels like that could make the shoulders droop. Not trying is difficult to know. We don't have access to the players. We don't know what they're thinking. But the body language wasn't great. But like I say, you see that with a lot of touring teams at the end of a tour when they're up against it. And like I say, the whole biosecure thing, maybe that hasn't helped morale. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm going to come down to your stats just in 2 minutes now. I think that'll be the next thing. The Braves, just to switch it on there, are England bowling on a different pitch? It completely looked like that way at the end. We'll come back to our batting. I think we're more concerned about the timid behaviour on the thing. Habib, poor. Now Habib is Habib. Let us know your age again. I think Habib is 12. I think. I think Umar, who was on the show yesterday.
Yeah.
That's Umar's younger brother. So it's one of them. Obed, assalamu alaikum everyone. That's one of our good friends. Habib, walaikum salam again. Right, Alia's got another comment. What are your thoughts on Pakistan's slip cordon for the whole series? They have been standing too deep to Naseem, and this game Rizwan should have come up to the stumps earlier. That's something that is quite interesting in the sense that yesterday I wish I did. I was about to tweet when Crawley came out to bat, and I saw him coming down the wicket to Abbas, batting out the crease, and then he was like taking another 3-4 strides out. And on our little WhatsApp group, there was a little debate going on, that shouldn't the umpires be even warning him, because he's definitely on the danger zone by the time he's receiving the ball. And it was so that little thing was happening. And one of the things I hit me, even when Yasser was bowling, was one, why didn't Rizwan say, you know what, let me come back, let me come up to Abbas and pull him back, and that brings the bowl and LBW into play as well, apart from the slips just being Arsenal just move up a couple of steps, which after 3 tests, I can't understand why they haven't done that. But the other thing was just being a bit smart and saying, with Yasser especially, just say, you know what, the way Asad Shafiq got him today, I actually was just about to tweet that yesterday. Look, he's coming down the coming down the track. Why not throw one down the leg side or wide outside off stump, and just chance yourself. The planning or the game awareness sort of lacked, didn't it?
Well, there's very much, I think, and again, I don't want it to be all about Azad and his captaincy, but certainly he seems like a very textbook captain. So there's a plan A, there's a plan B, and there's not really anything in between. There's not much kind of funkiness, and sometimes funkiness for the sake of it is pointless. But when you've got the opposition, 300, 400 from 4, that's when you kind of need to think a little bit outside the box. So yeah, it probably shouldn't have taken for Asad Shafiq to get someone caught down the leg side. Probably should have happened a bit sooner. And the slip cordon, I mean, the Sky guys have been pointing it out all series that our slip cordon is far too deep. And I don't know what the analysts are doing, whether we're not picking up on this. Why has no one seen that we're sitting too deep? Again, that goes back to the coaching and the planning.
I'm going to take this comment. Comments after this, but we'll take this one and then we'll go to your stats and then we'll come back because I guess your stats are going to make even more comments come through. So we moved the ball, but the field placement was just awful. Just compare it to what England just did now. Guys close to others to trap him again. Plan Shun's dismissal, close down Barber, straight drive. Yeah, that comes down from planning. It comes down from execution. So that's
it helps to have 600 on the board, though. I mean, yeah. You can have all the funkiness you like when you've got 600 on the board, but yeah, I take the point. I mean, yesterday in the morning we were probably a little bit on the defensive side, but equally we didn't bowl. I don't think we bowled as disciplined line and lengths yesterday as England have done today. They bowled well and they bowled to the field set. We didn't do that after the new ball spell yesterday. I don't think.
Yeah, I saw an image today where I think it was the 11th over, and that's when Yasser come on to bowl.
Yeah.
And there was a slip. There was a short, say mid-on, just a little bit more squarer, shall we say. And literally, you have 3 people on the boundary. He's only third ball in, and everyone's been pushed back, and you're thinking, this is where it's gone all wrong because we went too negative. Yeah, but go on. You hit us with them stats, and then we'll carry on with we've got loads of comments.
It's not so much that really. I was just looking at our bowling attack today. And obviously, like I say, Azhar's come in for a lot of criticism, which I know some of it's probably justified, and Misbah as well. But I was just looking. So I was looking at our bowling attack that we've brought to this country. I was looking at the ages of our bowlers. Okay, and our bowlers on this trip, they are 17, 19, 21. And then the rest of them are 30, 32, 34, 34, 35, 36. So you've got veterans or you've got kids. So I guess my question is, this goes beyond this goes beyond Misbah. This is a systematic kind of failure, if you like, because we've lost an entire generation of bowlers somehow. I don't know where they are. I've done a little bit of research to have a look, but you look around the world. Rabada's 25, Archer's 25, Cummins is 27, Bumrah's 27. Where's our mid-20s or early 20s or late 20s spearhead? Why are we relying on kids in the test arena anyway? They played, 12, 13 tests between them, Naseem and Shaheen, or someone like Abbas, who's a brilliant bowler, but we shouldn't be relying on people. I mean, the chat the other night was talking about Wahab Riaz coming in. We shouldn't be relying on a 36-year-old to come in at the end of a test series. So then I looked at the under-19 World Cup squads that we've had. So 2012, 2014, 2016, so 3 under-19 squads. All these guys would be in their mid-20s or mid to late 20s now. And between them, Ehsan Adil, 3 test caps, Mir Hamza, 1 test cap. So that's 45 players, obviously not all of them bowlers, but 3 squads, 3 under-19 World Cups, 45 players, 20-odd bowlers, 4 test caps. So where's it going wrong? Why are our bowlers getting to 19 and 20 and then we're not seeing them again? And like I say, we've lost this entire generation of. This is not to say Naseem and Shaheen won't come good in a few years' time, but how do we stop this happening?
Yeah, interesting point. Because as you just said, I mean, Mir Hamza, for example, he's actually tailor-made for these conditions. He's tailor-made for him because he doesn't have that express pace, But what he does do is he's got very good line and length, and he seams the ball around. The one test he got was in, I think UAE, wasn't it? It was in Asia.
Yeah. Again, I had a look. It was the second test, or the first or second test against Australia. He bowled about 15 overs in the test match, and the rest was a Bath and the spinners. So I also had a look again. So just quickly, I was having a look at our domestic cricket, because again, this is where your players come from domestic cricket. And again, 2018, 2019, there were nearly 30 scores, team scores under 100. So people have this misconception that Pakistan play on flat tracks. In Pakistan, all the domestic cricket's played on 600 versus 600, which is not the case at all. The wickets in Pakistan are great for seam bowlers, but they're good for 75, 80 mile per hour kind of dibbly-dobbly bowlers. They're not going to get you test wickets at the high. They're not. That's why we go to Australia and Warner gets triple hundreds. That's why we've never won in Australia. We've never won in South Africa. We haven't won in England since '96. So this is not a rant. Get rid of them all. But I guess what I'm saying is, let's not be too. We can't be this. What's happening today is not Azarali's fault completely or Misbah's fault completely. This is a systematic thing, a systematic problem that's only going to get worse unless we change something back home. Now, I know some of the domestic cricket is changing. They're changing it to essentially 6 domestic teams so that the cream rises to the top. But it's just dispiriting. Like I say, where are our 20-something old bowlers? Are they the ones that are just getting 5 for on a green top in Pakistan? And then when it comes to the highest level, test level, that's not going to get the likes of Root, Smith, Kohli, Williamson out. So again, we are a product, unfortunately, of some really bad circumstances back home.
Just moving away from ourselves for 2 minutes, and I'll go back to the comments again. This is something that I picked up earlier, and now Crawley is a 3rd youngest double centurion for England, only behind Hutton and Gower. So well played, young man. He batted superbly. For all the flaws that we can pick up on, I don't think he gave a chance. Not that I can remember anyhow. An out chance. So yeah, well played, young man. He cemented his place. And for someone who averages around 30 in first class cricket, and there was a part of me thinking, go on, pick him, please pick him. Because I was thinking that he doesn't have it in him. He's 267, absolutely fantastic. And Butler, there was that point on day 3 at Old Trafford, and I thought that was that was the end of his Test career. And here he is, probably. He's in with a shot of being man of the series at the end of this. So cricket's a wonderful sport. So yeah. Going to move to the comments again. I mean, Pakistan finished on 24 for 3. Anderson, wonderful again. Let's have a look. Omar, allegedly the wicket was flat, but come on, not taking anything away from Jimmy. We could have really got them on the back foot at 127 for 4. Yeah, at that point, I was saying 250. I think I was speaking to you, wasn't I, Doctor? And I said, we'll take 250, 300. This is it. Omar, again, we get too complacent, don't know how to land those crucial blows. England, on the other hand, have KO'd us out of this. Yeah, I think we're out of this game. The best we can hope is a draw. And even that's a long stretch. I mean, we're probably going to need a lot of weather interruptions ahead. So, Imad again, 100% agree with Imi. Only Rizwan was trying to lift the team, but then even he gave up doing that. No fight at the end. Doctor, what do you make of the fight? I mean, it annoys me. I get very annoyed by non-trying, and that's how it's sort of. I don't know if I might be wrong, but
yeah, it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to quantify, isn't it? You can't. I mean, I don't know where they how much they were trying. It's difficult to say. All you can go on is body language, and the body language was poor. Like I said, though, again, is that because it's a flat pitch and the ball's not doing very much? And also, to be fair, we didn't actually bowl that badly this morning. So I think this morning, again, just having a look at little notes I made. So this morning, England's first session was 41 for 1 in 18 overs. So they went at 2.3 and over. We kept a lid on it. You don't get that by not trying. England, they've got two attacking players out there. They'd have played their shots if they could, but we bowled some good line and lengths, and we got a little bit unlucky there. A few kind of flashed through the slip cordon. It doesn't, like I say, it doesn't look good. And sometimes all it takes is a couple of wickets, and the spark will come back into this team. And as it always does with Pakistani teams over the years, we get a couple of wickets, and suddenly we're chirping and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's difficult to say if they're trying or not. I think they probably are trying. I think some of it is probably psychological as well. I don't know how many. I mean, I'm watching this Test match. I'm still thinking back to Old Trafford and thinking, God, I wish we'd won that game and we'd be 1-0 up now. You just wonder, are the players doing that as well? Have they just got in the back of their mind, we should be 1 up? It's a long tour. It's cold. I want to go home, kind of thing. I don't know.
I mean, I wasn't trying to say that they weren't not trying on purpose. It's more like have their heads just dropped. And as professional sportsmen, I believe that you've got to keep going. But then you need inspiration. Especially the younger lads, they need inspiration. We'll just carry on with some of the other comments. Omar again. As I will get out to Jofra, he was clocking 90 miles per hour with movement. They've got a clear plan against him anyhow. They're trying to get him LBW, but he saw the day out. How long does he see it out? Hopefully, for Pakistan's sake, that he can get a decent score in, and that would actually help his morale, and it would help the whole team because a captain that is playing well normally helps the team. Let's carry on. I don't think Musbah the right man for the job. Toba. Not sure about the Toba part, but yeah, go on. So I the same opinion about Mickey, and I've got it about Misbah, and I think I had it about Bob Woolmer, and I've had it about Vakar Yunus in the past, and I think coaches are always cheap scapegoats. I always find that I'm from the Imran Khan school of thought, and I remember him saying once that a coach's role is very limited. He can tell you things, he can do whatever, but once you step over that boundary rope, it's on the players. I know the coach's role is more with fans and everything else is much more deeper than it used to be. But I think coaching is very much overrated. That's a personal opinion. So
I would agree. I would agree, to be honest. I mean, I would just say your levels are going down just a touch in me sometimes when you're talking. I don't know why that is. We can not hear you quite so well, just on occasions. I don't know if anyone else is noticing that in the comments. It would be helpful to know, or if it's just me. But in terms of in terms of kind of coaching, yeah, I think sometimes it's a bit of an easy one to say that it's the coaches. I mean, these players when they're playing international level, they should be 95% there. The coach is just going to add little bits on, give you little pointers here and there, but really the basics of your game should be there. So I wouldn't put too much of it on Misbah. I think it goes beyond that, and it's again, I don't want to keep going about the system, but it's more the system that's getting the players so-called ready for international cricket, as opposed to the coach. The coach is there to add on the finishing touches. You might not have met that coach until you're 26 years old, so by then your game should be in pretty good order.
We've got loads of comments now, so we're going to try to sum up as quickly as possible. There's about 20 comments after this. When are Pakistan going to have delayed players? Let's start Shoaib Akhtar, shall we?
Yeah, he'll want a dugout fast bowler and all that nonsense he comes out with.
Also, we desperately need an all-rounder who's a fast bowler. That's how you win away series. It's ideal to say that. Do we have one at the moment? Fahim Ashraf, is he good enough?
Have we placed Razak? I don't think have we haven't replaced Razak. I don't think. We've been crying out for an all-rounder, and people talk about Hamad Azam when he first came on the scene, and Fahim.
We took that era of Razak, and Azhar Mahmood's quite like, this is normal.
Yeah.
We had two excellent all-rounders at a time, and when you add Shahid Afridi to it, we had three very good all-rounders. So that's that. Not just bowlers, we lost cricketers in general. Yeah, we have. Yeah, I mean, I think Imran Khan that something Exile. Can't remember the name now. The documentary out of Exile. He actually mentioned that we lost. He mentioned that. So I think so did Wasim Khan mentioned that. So that's that. Another one, Imran Akbar. I'm waiting for my question to be read out to maybe answered.
I think we did.
Yes. Oh, I think that was the question just there. Which just said that we have lost many players.
But that's not good enough. We've got to stop doing that. That is, and again, without this is not a rant or the Bucks are awful, because that's not the case at all. But we, like I said, we haven't won here for ages. Never won in Australia. Never won in South Africa. If you keep doing what you've kind of always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got before. So we are, we're miles behind India right now. England have just gone to South Africa and won a Test series. We got beat 3-0 out there. It's days like this, it just kind of hits home that we are quite far away from being the kind of Test team that we want, and that's not just Misbah's fault. Yeah, maybe things can change under him. But we're a mile off at the moment. I think in batting, certainly in bowling.
Pakistan. Now, first of all, my brother, thank you for coming in yesterday, and you're coming in tomorrow as well, because I'm not available tomorrow. So we played badly, but how can we get rid of plastic fans who want to get rid of Shane and Naseem?
If we keep losing, that'll get rid of all the plastic fans, won't it?
Okay, yeah. You know what, Naseem, I actually tweeted it out earlier on. He should be the last one we should be blaming. It's not his fault that he's been picked, and he's still young. He's raw. He needs a couple of seasons of domestic, along with these sort of tours and carrying him. He shouldn't have the burden of being looked at like he's going to save every Test match. He's got the quality. He's got everything in him, but everything has a time and place. Whatever, he's 17, or if someone thinks his age is a bit higher, whatever it is, he's still a kid. He's still very young. So he's in the sense that I'm going to be 38 next week. So he could be my son. That is the.
Even though he's actually 26.
No, I don't think he's 26 because I'm kidding. With the under 19s now, if I'm not wrong, don't they have the pulse checks and they have all that now? So I don't think they can go Rashid Khan anymore. They have to go a little bit easier.
Yeah.
In my other game, we had a bus bowling at 240, 260 Connie from the other end. No one could build any pressure, and they all went for runs. That's something that I always pick up, especially with Yasser, that when he's not picking up wickets, sometimes he just needs to go back to basics. Bowl 6 leggies and over. Try to get a couple of maidens in. That's where people like Shane Warne, Abdul Qadir, Mushi, there's been some fine leggies, Stuart McGill. There's been some really fine leggies, but they knew how to build the pressure. Yesterday, the way he worked out Ollie Pope was absolutely, it was a wonderful setup. But you can't always set people up. See, sometimes you've got to go to the basics. Try to get some maidens in, bowl some leggies, forget about the flipper, forget about anything else. Get a field out, get some maidens in, and create some pressure that way.
Just quickly, sorry, but he's, again, without going on about ages all the time, but he's got Mushtaq Ahmed as a bowling coach. He's 34. If he doesn't know that by now, at 34, when is a penny going to drop? He's worked with Shane Warne. That just get your stock ball out and just bowl dry. Just bowl dry for a couple of overs. It's amazing what stupidity batsmen are capable of if you just bowl dry at them for a little while. And that's the thing, isn't it? He's 34 and he still hasn't quite grasped that. Whether that's a technical thing or whether that's a mental thing where whatever the coach is saying is not communicating correctly with him. I don't know. It's difficult. Sorry, I sound a bit depressed this evening. I apologise.
There's two of us here. Don Hawkistan, get over it, mate. People are fickle and you'll see them everywhere. People hyping up kids before a full season of first-class cricket won't fall off. I think that's on Naseem. I think we just discussed Naseem's little stance on us. For me, He'd be the last one I'll be blaming right now. For example, we're just saying bowling to a plan, getting some maidens in. Maybe when wickets weren't falling yesterday or even today, um, someone he's a kid. Shane's. I mean, we think of him as old. What is he? 21.
Yeah. He is. I've got it here. He's 20, I think. Sorry. Yeah. 19. Yeah. 19 or 20. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So how about someone walking up to him and say, you know what? Stop bowling some bouncers. We're going to get two people out on the boundary. Yeah, down the leg side. Get some bouncers in. Let's try to bowl 4 or 5 bouncers every over, and let's see that they might keep ducking it. Eventually, when the runs dry up, they're gonna try to pull or hook the ball, and that gives us a chance. But that comes with experience. As a young bowler, they need some guidance. And again, like it's like we're on without actually saying it, we're on like a Azhar out sort of thing, which doesn't seem right. The Braves again, the game at this level is all about 1%. We should have a dedicated person listening to the commentary, picking up points, ideas, feedback. Doesn't seem like anyone's doing it from our backroom staff. You know what? I agree with that because every single person I've seen on social media has picked up on the slip fielders, has picked up on basic plans. And when you're listening to Sky commentary, they actually make it a lot easier because they are so good at picking up little things. But we haven't picked up on anything as a team, which is pretty slow.
Well, I don't know if this is a thing. Again, I think is that something? Is that almost like a bit of a not a cultural thing? But if you think back to the again the 90s to 2000s, Pakistan's always been this kind of team that forget stats, forget everything else, forget the technical nonsense, just go out there with aggression and win the game. Maybe we need to kind of catch up with the rest of the world when it comes to stats and data and things like that. I don't know. I doubt we've got whether that's a financial thing where we haven't got the capabilities to have as much data and analysis as the other countries. But I don't think we do as much of that stuff as other countries. And people work you out. This is why you see so many Pakistan players be brilliant at the start of their careers, and then they get worked out because other teams have got all the data analysis on them, and then they haven't got an answer. You look at someone like, for example. So again, we need to make sure you can't just play one way in international cricket and not expect other teams not to pick up on how you play.
Jimmy. He's on the brink of getting 600 wickets. He might do that in this test. Don Tabby, I think he's talking with the Briz. Why listen to Comey? Shouldn't the coaching staff have the knowing and being in the coaching group already? Yeah, they should do, but then sometimes you learn by just you're watching things. As a Mahmood was one of them during the World Cup, and he actually had the Sky, the Sky's commentary thing. He was listening to what they were saying. Knowledge, you have a lot of knowledge. People think that I've got this knowledge, that knowledge, but you learn something new every day. Or we're only human, and even Sky commentary team. I mean, they've got 7, 8. They've got analysts behind them. They've got all sorts of people, and this is where it all comes from. It all looks good, but it's not one person doing it. So you learn from each other.
Yeah, just looking at the comments there's a comment from Bilal that it's just saying, why blame the bowlers when it's always been our batsmen who failed us? I do feel like we're being a bit harsh on the bowlers. Obviously, England have got 600, so they've not had a great time of it. So again, I just very quickly, I took out Shan's 150 in that first innings, right? So if you take out Shan's 150, our scores on this trip are 170 for 9, 169 all out, 236 all out, 24 for 3. So yeah, it's not. We can't just blame the bowlers for this. The batting hasn't particularly clicked either. So no, I agree with Bilal in the comments there. It's not. This is it's a joint effort at the moment. I don't think it's just the bowlers that have got us into this position where we're probably going to lose 2-0.
Yeah, I think the Brazil Don having a little conversation that I'm just going to read it rather than talk about it. I think we talked about it enough. Kamran Mirza, if Azhar and Shafiq do not put in an innings, do you think they will be out of the team? possibly. I mean, like what we said, we can analyze things like that. I think after the series.
I think if this is a big defeat, I think Asad could be walking on thin ice. The question is who comes in. So if let's say one or both of them get dropped, are we looking at someone like Haider Ali coming in? Does Fawad Alam move up the order? Do we again get another batsman from domestic cricket? Does Imam come in? I just don't think there's not much.
Next series is away from home, and he doesn't really travel anymore, so it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, we can look at this. We've got months after this to look at possibilities of what we can do after this. I think it's the immediate thing. Yeah, I think Bilal's just saying the same sort of thing. Bilal, we'll have you back on the show, I think, one of these days again. Hassan, I've been supporting Azhar Ali since day one, but if he's not scoring big in this test, he needs to go. I know Hassan is the biggest Azhar Ali fan you could possibly find, but then he's also being a realist here and saying that, you know what, it might be the end. I think this is the comment that you were looking at.
Yeah, there's another one from Bilal, but similar stuff to that. Yeah, just about the batsman. We can't let the batsmen off the hook. They've not been great. They weren't great this evening.
I didn't actually know that you can actually see the comments as well. I thought only I can see them.
Oh, I can see everything they're saying about you. No, I can see. No, I can see the comments just coming in as well.
I've always been a host, so I've not realised that the second people can actually see it as well. I thought,
we see everything. Don't worry about that.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Amy, your voice is going off more often than staying off. From tomorrow, I'm going to try to have my headphones in. I was working today. No, not tomorrow, from Monday. Tomorrow, I'm busy. It's my cousin's nikah, so I'm going to be, even though I'm not going to the nikah because of the COVID situation and the limit on people, but I'm going to be... we're doing some cooking for them and everything. So when they do come home, they've got some food. So I'm not going to be available tomorrow. I'm going to be eating.
Yeah.
Shayna seems shouldn't be playing T20 series. Rest the kids up, and they should be focusing on playing the domestic in a month. I want to say I disagree with that. They need to be playing domestic cricket. They need that. Wasim said it on Sky commentary a few times now that they learned more from their county stints and they learned from their whole thing, but them county stints are less available. I think Shaheen was due to come here this year, but obviously with the situation and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty sure these boys will come out for county stints. If not county stints, club cricket, wherever. Just get them here for a whole summer and learn how to bowl.
We seem to come to this country every year. I think we've been here every year since 2016 now. So yeah. Oh, Imi's gone. So it's just me you've got now. I'll carry on my point. Basically, we've been here every year since 2016. And if we're going to come so often, then it's good. Oh, he's back. It's good that the players can get a bit of practice.
I want to turn the light on. I was getting very dark in it.
Okay.
I just went to turn the light on. Azhar Ali as test captain, I think we've discussed that. Naseem and Shaheen are the future. Less than 10 tests between them, and they're leading the attack. Both have done well. Disappointed with Vakanius. Plans have been poor. So that's that. Azhar Ali as test captain. As we said, we're going to do it. After this series, we'll look at it. After the T20s, we've got loads of time to look at stuff like this. And we'll look at it as it goes. Don Pat Cricket. Guys, there's another thing. While you're commenting, do add your Twitter @s as well, so it gives us an idea who it is. Half the time, I've got no clue. We're about 5 coach and countless extras. Not sure what each is offering. It seems. Again, that's something that I saw earlier today. And someone said that there's too many egos probably in that dressing room right now. So Mr. probably has his own direction. Vakar will probably say, no, I think we should be this way. Eunice will say, well, maybe no, I think we should go this way. And then Mushy probably turn around and say, I'm slap bang in the middle sort of thing. And sometimes having too many big names is not helping as well.
Yeah, no, agreed, definitely. And especially, like I say, Yunus Khan, he could start an argument kind of in an empty room. So, I get the impression that we've got to be careful that we don't get too many egos in that dressing room.
Zimbabwe going to Pakistan in October. Easy ones are coming for all these who are failing, but that's I think completely different. That's ODIs and T20s. Tabriz, nice. I mean, is it blue? Oh, no, it's actually green. It's actually green, very, very light shaded green.
It's a funny looking green.
I think that Tabriz, do not tweet any pictures out. I'll tweet a picture out myself. Tabriz has got a picture of me in this shirt while I was eating. And
it looks like one of those old India one day shirts.
Oh, guy. me doing the eating. See, it's come back down to. I'll be doing the eating. So that's for tomorrow. I will be doing the eating. Tabs, it looks like turquoise. I think. Yeah, it is turquoise. I will prove my point on this one. I'm not getting called an Indian. John, it's Indian blue. See my. My shirt's getting crucified now in the comments.
Your shirt's clearly more interesting than the game today.
I guess so. At least some positives come out of it. Has Barber lived up to the hype? I mean, to watch him back, but when he gets out like that, it makes you again like things happen. I'm not going to criticize Barber. We've got much more bigger problems than him. Him and Nassim are probably the last ones I'll be picking up right now. Anyhow, so
I mean, at some point in a game like this, though, he's going to have to, even if it's second innings, he's going to have to kind of stand up. If we want him to be our Inzi, our Yusuf, our Yunus, if we think back to games like this in the past, one of them has stood up and got 100, 150. Again, he's by far not our biggest problem, not by a long shot. But at some point in this tour, I mean, what is it? I think is it 150 so far in the tour in the first test match. He's got to stand up and kind of make a contribution.
Yeah. So that's that. One last comment. I'm going to come down to that in just a second. I'll put it outside the bottom again. Pat Cricket 786. Can imagine clashes on the planet between Misbah and Yunus on approach. Twitter. Yamin 321. How you doing? Assalamu alaikum, bro. How you doing? Again, a friend, a nice brother. Yeah, again, like we just said that it's definitely possible. There could be egos, and especially a long tour, as we just said, and they're in a bubble, so they can't get away. They're in each other's faces more often than not, and basically, when things are going well, if we were 1-0 up, they'll probably be on the same wavelength. We'll want to say and they will follow it. But when things are not going too well, then the plans and everyone has an opinion. So it's possible. Guys, we're gonna probably round up and finish it. I'm gonna take this as the last comment, regardless of whatever else comes through now. People need to be thinking how to build a test team as a team to be focusing on limited overs cricket. I agree with that. I mean, the priority should be test cricket. And that's why this series annoys me a little bit, because it's the World Test Championship and also being born and bred in England. This is one of the series that, I most look forward to. And it's got so many memories. So, I sometimes like if you go back to a series, say if you said to me what happened in 1996 in, I don't know, South Africa, I don't know who went there. I have absolutely no clue. I wouldn't remember it.
Probably
You
last
asked me 1996 in England. I know exactly every test, who scored what, how it happened, what happened 92. Going up from 92 onwards, I remember every single test series quite well. Obviously, being born and bred here, that makes a difference.
Imi, just one last thing. Just you were going to say about the World Test Championship. So if you just want one more depressing stat or fact for anyone watching, in case you're not down enough. So exactly 4 years ago today, we were world number 1 in Test cricket. So maybe that's a whole other show as to how we've gone from world number 1 to where we are now. Maybe we weren't actually the best team in the world back then either. But again, just a bit of a depressing one, isn't it? Literally, we were top of the world and looking down on everyone, and here we are, what, 7th, I think, in Test cricket. So there's work to do, and it goes beyond just these 4 days in Southampton and even this tour. If we're going to get somewhere close to where we've been in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Aussie from Twitter. Dude, Pakistan need more experience. Yeah, I think we just went through that. So if you actually look at the video of earlier, I think that's been discussed. Mir Hamza was one of the people that got discussed in a generation that's just got lost somewhere. Doctor, last thing, what do you see happening tomorrow?
All right, okay. I'll be honest. Let's be realistic. There's a bit of rain around in the morning. There's a bit of rain on Monday and Tuesday. I would be very surprised if we don't lose this one by an innings. I really hope I'm wrong, but I can see us kind of subsiding pretty quickly tomorrow. Someone will probably get 100 in the second innings. Probably Asad Shafiq. He'll probably keep his place in the team for the next tour with 130 pointless, meaningless runs. But I do think we'll probably lose by an innings, unfortunately. I don't know about you.
I hope you're wrong, but it doesn't look too good. It doesn't look too good. I mean, we're 3 down now. So tomorrow, I think Shafiq's going to be batting with Azhar straight away. New ball. I mean, it's literally a brand new ball. It doesn't look very good, but I'm hopeful that, somewhere down the line we'll put up a fight and, we somehow save the test. I mean, as a fan, we got to stay hopeful.
If we end up setting England 60 to win because we've batted really well in 2 innings and they win by 10 wickets, none of us are going to complain. I think because all we want is fight. I don't care if we lose by an innings, 10 wickets or whatever. Just fight and don't just subside to an innings defeat on Monday morning because that's what we
don't want. We don't want to be coming Monday morning and saying that on day 4. First session or second session, we've lost by innings and we've not put up any fight. We've lost the last 17 wickets in the next 5 sessions. That's what we do not want. So yeah, that's not done. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, I won't be. Hawkins Fun's going to be back tomorrow. At the moment, I don't know who his guest is. I'm going to leave that with him to decide. I'll be eating. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us again.
Pleasure. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, everyone else, for joining us. Stay happy, stay blessed. I know, despite all our grumbles,
stay happy.
Yeah, stay happy. And despite all our grumbles, I pretty much can guarantee that every single one of us will be tuning in tomorrow again, because that's what we are. Whatever we do, we don't give up. We're back in the team again. And I think there's been times in our lives where we said, I'm never going to watch them again. And the following morning, the TV's back on and we're watching it again. So that's that. Yeah, as I said, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Assalamu alaikum.